So roughly 1 year ago today, we got the release of Creation Club. The first mods were deployed and we got to enjoy them or not. Ever since its announcement at E3, Creation Club came under fire. There was articles, forum posts, and even the video itself got a ton of dislikes. People were unhappy. They viewed this as the return of paid mods, and despite Bethesda's many attempts to characterize it differently, today many still agree it is effectively paid mods. But today we largely live in a culture of outrage. There's always a new thing to hate on and for people to be angry at. Was it justified with Creation Club? Now that we've had it for about 1 year, how did it turn out? Is it as bad as everyone thought it would be? As I sat here and filmed this video, I tried to genuinely think of a few things that were worth the money in Creation Club, things that were a bargain and I had no problem paying with because it was a high quality mod. And for that, I have two answers. The backpack we got at the debut of Creation Club continues to be probably one of the highest quality backpack mods for Fallout 4 period. If you look at the free options and if you look at this paid option, the paid option is pretty much better. It's high quality, it offers more customization options and functionality in game than some of the alternatives. And even though there are quite a few different backpack mods out there, the one I continue to go back to is the one I paid for from Creation Club. But even at that, if it's worth the money is pretty subjective. I could see a lot of people being totally okay with the free options and not wanting to pay the $5 to $6 for this paid one. But there is one thing that I think many people can objectively say is worth the money, and that's actually the donut shop pack. This was simply something that brought so much to the table that it was kind of astonishing that it was priced at $5 or $6. You got a ton of new workshop items, which we had seen many times in Creation Club at this point. But even beyond that, you actually got totally new crafting tables that came with totally new things to craft. There was a wide variety of new donuts that had different effects on your characters, in addition to a ton of different types of coffee that you can craft, drink, and reap the benefits of. All of this being totally custom and modeled. They went so far as actually Sim Settlements implemented this into one of their plot types. And even beyond all that, I think it features a pretty cool and interesting power armor paint job that I continue to use from time to time in my videos. So for me, at least, those two were pretty awesome, and I don't have any regrets of spending the $10 to $12 on them. The problem is, Creation Club doesn't have 2 releases. It actually has tens of releases, if not hundreds of things have come out through the program. And yet here I sit telling you I only found 2 of them to be worth the money. You see, my big issue with Creation Club is not really the quality of the content. There are a ton of beautiful and very well made things that have come out through the program, whether it be different power armors, paint jobs for weapons that look awesome. The problem for me has always been there's a free alternative that's of equal, if not better quality in some instances. At one point for Skyrim, a mod author released a house mod. It was a high quality house mod. It had everything you would want in a house mod and it cost a few dollars. But when you actually look at the free one that the mod author also released, they were almost identical. To the average player, the free alternative would kind of be of equal quality, except it didn't cost anything. You could download it right now. And that is kind of where I find myself with Creation Club today. Pretty much since its release, I thought it was a decent concept. Yes, a lot of people are against paying for mods and all that, but I'm not. On one hand, you actually get some of these mod authors paid. There's a lot of misconception around that, so I'll kind of clear it up. As you're inducted into the program, you actually start creating mods for Bethesda, and they'll later release them. You don't receive a commission on sales as many people think, and they don't get paid hundreds of dollars, they get paid thousands. Based off the people I've talked to, it's a competitive market rate and it's definitely a good amount of money. And for those, the community members that have been making free mods for years, getting inducted into the program is awesome, and for that reason, I like to support it. And even just in general, for me personally, there are definitely mods out there I would pay for, and I have no problem paying for. The problem being, very rarely do I feel like those are coming out on Creation Club. Imagine we got a pretty cool weapon pack, adding in 4 or 5 new weapons, maybe with a few paint jobs because that's something else they've released through Creation Club, all at the price of $10 or so. I bet there would be a ton of people buying that. Sure, many would say this is a ripoff, but I would happily give my money for that. Because from my perspective, it seems like Bethesda wants Creation Club to exist in a bubble, yet it just doesn't, and that's been its biggest downfall thus far. For most users, the effects of Creation Club are breaking Fallout 4 script extender, making it so they can't actually play the game for 24 to 48 hours as things get updated. Or even for console users, you have to download all of the new creations, so it takes up hard drive space. I've heard of a few times where people said they had to delete some of their other games because they wanted to play Fallout 4 but didn't have the space to update it. As it sits right now, I think Creation Club has a lot of potential. There are some awesome things out there that could be created with the help of Bethesda from mod authors that I would gladly pay money for. It just isn't capitalizing on this. It's been a year, and even though things have without a doubt improved, I would say with each additional release release cycle, things were a bit better. There was more content for the amount of money. But something being less bad doesn't make it good. It still isn't worth the money most of the time, at least in my eyes. I don't know what the future holds for Creation Club. As of right now, for Skyrim, we haven't had a release in quite a few months. Evidently, I would assume people aren't buying things on that side nearly as often as for Fallout 4. For Fallout 4, there's still stuff on the way, we know about it, and I'm still going to cover it, hoping that it's going to be something big and worth the money. But as Fallout 76 fast approaches, I do really wonder if this is a program they'll continue. I would really like it to, in some size, simply for the fact that it's paying mod authors, but as to whether or not it does is pretty up in the air, I think. So those are my thoughts on Creation Club after covering it and experiencing it for 1 year. I would love to hear your guys' opinions on this in the comments down below. I'm sure many of you have already commented your opinions, probably halfway through the video. But either way, as always, again, I thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I hope to see you all next time. Later.